Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 94b, part 2, with the word my, or the words my, Ke'es Rishon, Hakal, Artsa, Zivulun. The Artsa, Zivulun, Artsa, Naftali, Achron, Hichbid, Derach, Yam, Ever Hayardain, Glil Hagoyim, Lokarishom, Shehekelu, Me'alehem, Ol Torah, Abba Achronim, Shehbidu Alehen, Ol Torah. ורעויים הללו לעשות להם נס קוברי הים כדרכי הירדן. אם חוזר בו מוטב, אם לאו, אני אעשה לו גליל בגויים. What is the meaning of the continuation of the verse, which states, now the former has lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, Zebulun and Naphtali, but the latter has dealt a more grievous blow by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan in the district of the Gentiles, of the nations. The generation in Judea in the time of Hezekiah is not like the former generation of Ahaz, who eased the yoke of Torah from upon the people, but the latter generation of Hezekiah, who intensified the yoke of Torah upon the people, is fit for God to perform a miracle for them, like the miracles performed for those who crossed the Red Sea and those who trod through the Jordan River. God is saying, if Sanhedrin reconsiders his planned conquest, good. But if he does not, I will render him wallowing in shame among the nations. Achrei hadvarim v'ha'emet ha'ele ba Sanheriv melech Ashur. ויבוא ביהודה ויחן על הערים הבוצרות ויאמר לבקעם אליו היי ראשונה להי פרדשנה. The verse states, after these matters and this truth, Sanherib, king of Assyria, came and entered Judea and encamped against the fortified cities and sought to breach them for himself. 2 Chronicles 32, verse 1. Today is 321. Today's March 21. In the Daf we have the same digits, 321. 2 Chronicles 321. The Gemara asks, is this gift, Rishna, the invasion of Sanheriv, appropriate compensation for that gift? Hezekiah's restoration of the temple, of the worship of God in Judea? Achar dvinu ha'el v'amet, achar mai. Amar Ravina la'achar shekafas HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ונשבע ואמר, אי אמינה לחזקיה מתנה לסנחריב מסר בידך, השתמר לו הוא בעינה, ולא בעצותי בעינה. The Gemara explains when the verse states, after these matters and this truth, after what matters in the verse referring to. What are the matters after these matters? Ravina says this is referring to, after the Holy One, blessed be He, preempted and took an oath, reference with the term emet, that he will deliver the spoils of the army of the king of Assyria into the hands of Hezekiah, and this was because he had said, if I say to Hezekiah, I will bring Sanherib, and I will deliver him into your hands, he will then say, I neither want him delivered into my hands, nor do I want the accompanying fear of him. Miyad kafatz HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'nishba. Demaisena le. Shene'emar. Nishba Adonai Tzivot lemor, im lo ka'asher dimiti ken hayta, v'ka'asher ya'atzti hi takum. לשבור אשור בארצי ועל הרי אבוס. סנו ושר מעליהם עלו וסובלו מעל שכמו יסור. אמר רבי יוחנן, אמר הקדוש ברוך הוא, יבוא סנחריב וסיעתו, יעשה אבוס לחזקיהו וסיעתו. Immediately the Holy One, blessed be He, preempted Hezekiah and took an oath. I take an oath that I will deliver him. As it is stated, the Lord of hosts has taken an oath, saying, it is not as I imagined it, so has it come to pass, and as I have proposed, so shall it arise. That I will break Assyria in my land, and upon my mountains subdue him. Then shall his yoke depart from them, and his burden depart from its shoulder. Isaiah 14:24-25. Rabbi Yochanan says that the Holy One, blessed be he, said, Sanhedrin and his entourage shall come and be transformed into a feeding trough, evus, in the sense of the source of sustenance for Hezekiah and his entourage. V'haya b'yamahu yasur savelo mi'al shichmecha v'yalu yonzarecha yichubal ol mipnei shamin amar b'yitzchak nafcha chubal ol shel Sanhedrin mipnei shamno shel Chizkiyahu shaya dolek bevate knesiyot ubate midrashot. It is stated with regard to the downfall of Assyria, and it shall come to pass on that day, his burden shall be taken from your shoulder, and his yoke from on your neck. And the yoke shall be destroyed due to fatness. Isaiah 10:27. Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha says, the yoke of Sanhedrin was destroyed due to the oil of Hezekiah that would burn in the synagogues and study halls when the Jewish people were engaged in Torah study at night. Ma'asa na'atz cherev al petach bet hamidrash v'yamar kol mi she'eno osek b'toire yedaker b'cherev zo batku midan v'ad Beersheva midan v'ad Beersheva v'lo matzu am ha'aretz migvat v'ad antifras v'lo matzu tinok v'tinoket ish v'isha shelo hayo b'ki'in b'hilchot tuma v'tahara. What did Hezekiah do to ensure Torah study? He inserted a sword at the entrance of the study hall and said, anyone who does not engage in Torah study shall be stabbed with this sword. As a result, they searched from Dan in the north to Beersheba in the south, and did not find the Negdoremus. They searched from Givat to Antipatris, and did not find a male child or female child, or a man or a woman, who was not expert even in the complex halachot of ritual purity and impurity. V'yalotu hador hu omer v'haya b'yomahu yichayeh ish eglat bakar u'shtei tzon v'gomer v'yomar v'haya b'yomahu yechol mekom asher yesh sham 1,000 gefen ב1,000 kasef לשמיר ולשי תהיה אף על פי ש1,000 גפן ב1,000 כסף לשמיר ולשי תהיה. And it is about this generation that the prophet says, and it shall come to pass in that day that a man shall nourish a young calf and 2 sheep. It shall come to pass from the abundance of milk that they produce, he shall eat butter, for butter and honey shall everyone eat, everyone who remains in the midst of the land. Isaiah 7:21-22. And the prophet continues and says, and it shall come to pass in that day that every place where there were 1,000 vines for 1,000 silver coins, it shall be for briars and thorns. Isaiah 7:23. Although 1,000 vines are worth 1,000 silver coins, and one could earn substantial profits through agricultural labor, the fields will grow briars and thorns due to neglect. The people of that generation were devoted to the study of Torah and engaged in labor only minimally to sustain themselves. Ve'asaf shalalchem osef hechasil. Amar lehem navi liYisrael isvu shalalchem. Amru lo libezoz o lachlok. Amar lehem ki osef hechasil. Ma osef hechasil kol echad ve'echad yatzmo af shalalchem kol echad ve'echad yatzmo. It is written, and your spoils shall be gathered like the gathering of the locusts. And as the advance of the locusts shall he advance. Isaiah 33:4. The prophet said to the Jewish people, gather your spoils from the army of Sanhedrin. They said to him, are we to pillage the spoils, each person for himself, or are we to divide the spoils with the monarchy? He said to them, gather the spoils like the gathering by the locusts. Just as in the gathering by the locusts, each and every one of the locusts takes food for itself, so too, in the gathering your spoils, each and every one of you shall take spoils for himself. Amru lo והלא ממון 10 השבטים מעורב בו. אמר להם, כי מה שהגבים שוקק בו, מה הגבים הללו מעלים את האדם מטומאה לטהרה? אף ממונם של ישראל, כיוון שנפל ביד אומות העולם, מיד טיהר. כי דרב פאפא, דאמר רב פאפא, עמון ומואב טהרו בסיחון. They said to him, since the army of Sanhedrin came to Jerusalem after its conquest of the kingdom of Israel, isn't the property of the 10 tribes intermingled with it, and therefore gathering the spoils would be robbery? He said to them, as the advance of the locusts shall he advance. Isaiah 33 verse 4. Just as these pools of water elevate a person up from a state of ritual impurity to a state of purity through immersion, so too the property of the Jewish people, once it falls into the hands of the Gentiles, it immediately purifies the property, in the sense that it is no longer considered robbery to take it, as its owners despair of its recovery. This is in accordance to the statement of Rav Papa. As Rav Papa says, the property of Ammon and Moab was purified to the conquest of Sichon. Although the Torah rendered it prohibited to conquer the land of Ammon and Moab, since Sichon conquered their land, it was permitted for the Jewish people to conquer it. Amar Rav Huna, 10 מסעות נשא אותו רשע באותו היום, שנאמר בעל אייט עבר במגרון למכמש יפקיד כליו, עברו מעברה, גבה מלון לנו, חרדה הרמה. גבעת שאול נסע, צהלי קולך בת גלים, הקשיבי לאישה, ענייה ענתות, נדדה מדמנה, יושבי הגבים העיזו, עוד היום בנוב לעמוד, ינופף ידו הר בת ציון גבעת ירושלים. Rav Huna says, that wicked Sanhedrin traveled 10 journeys on that day. As it is stated, he is come to Ayath, he is passed through Migron. At Michmas he deposited his baggage. They passed Mabara, they have taken up their lodging at Geba. Ramah trembles, Gibath Shaul has fled. Cry with a shrill voice, daughter of Galim, hearken Laish, poor Anatoth. Madmenah is in flight, the inhabitants of Gebim flee to cover. This very day shall he halt at Nov, he shall shake his hand against the mountain of the daughter of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. Isaiah 10, 28 through 32. He traveled to all these places on that same day. Hane tuva havyaban havyain, tzali kolech bat galim, navi hu dekamar la, לכנסת ישראל, צהלי קולך בת גלים, ביתו של אברהם יצחק ויעקב, שעשו מצוות כגלי הים, הקשיבי לאישה, והי לא תסתפה, אלא הסתפה מנבוכדנצר הרשע, דמתיל כאריה, שנאמר על האריה מסובכו, וגומר. The Gemara asks, aren't these more than 10? The Gemara answers in that verse, cry with a shrill voice, daughter of Galim. It is the prophet who is saying to the congregation of Israel, cry with a shrill voice, daughter of Galim, daughter of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who performed mitzvot as numerous as the waves of the sea. Hearken Laish, from this king Sanhedrin, fear not, but fear Nebuchadnezzar, the wicked, who is likened to a lion, as it is stated, the lion is gone up from its thicket. Jeremiah 4 verse 7. The Gemara asks, what is the meaning of the phrase,